When I turned 19, I noticed my hair started falling more than usual. So I I also saw that um, in my dad's family, everyone went bald. Like many of the people that have shared this as well, I didn't want to go bald, so I started researching for ways to not go bald. I came into this article that talked about it didn't talk about all the risks of taking finasteride, but it was already saying that men were suffering from sexual side effects and depression and yeah, I I was like, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna mess with that. That same article actually suggested taking supplemental, and it was like, okay, you can try this as an alternative because it's natural, it's plant. There is research, that showed that it inhibited DHT, which is the what's believed to cause hair loss. Yeah, I bought it on Amazon, and it was very easy to get. Ignorantly, I thought it would be like a food, like I don't know. Yeah, like once I stopped taking it, my hair would start falling again, and then like things would go, nothing would ever happen. The things that I noticed that started getting worse and worse were my sleep and my energy levels. Like I noticed that I started having insomnia. I never had insomnia before, and I noticed my energy levels were depleting. I started having palpitations. I never had that before, and this is obviously getting into personal things, but
Mm-hmm.
watery ejaculations.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so, 2 years goes by, you start to experience all these negative effects, and then finally you made the decision to stop taking the supplement. What happened then?
Yeah, so I noticed things got better, and I had my first panic attack. I never had a panic attack before that.
And how long after you stopped taking the supplement was that?
This was a year after. Yeah, after that panic attack, everything got worse. Everything got worse. I started having social anxiety, like anxiety. I started having uh, what they call ananoia, and then like like I couldn't feel things. Yeah, I had crazy brain fog. Sometimes I stutter now. Again, chronic fatigue, dizziness. I ran out of breath. I still do to this day. I run out of breath pretty fast. Muscle weakness. My stool is still greenish, yellowish. Pain on the right side of my back. Had an ultrasound done, and they said I had the kidney inflammation. I had complete loss of sex drive, complete erectile dysfunction, complete loss of morning and spontaneous erections. All of those decrease in volume, force, no semen. My mom and my dad have been angels. Like they have supported me, and they have wanted to see me get better, even though like they have suffered so much, and I don't know, they haven't given up on me, which is incredible because I know a lot of people don't have this support system, and I'm so grateful for that. But if it wasn't for them, yeah, honestly, I could tell you I would be homeless or dead.
Knowing what you know now and having experienced what you've experienced, um, do you feel like you had enough warning, enough information about the supplement, about the drug, to provide informed consent?
No, no.
Hello, welcome to the PFS Network YouTube channel. Today I'm speaking with Juan from Colombia. Juan unfortunately has been experiencing persistent adverse effects for some time as a result of taking saw palmetto, which is a 5 alpha reductase inhibitor that acts in the same way that finasteride does. I really appreciate you coming on today, Juan.
Thanks, Mitch.
So yeah, why don't you just start by telling me a little bit about why you decided to take saw palmetto and when?
Yeah, so when I turned 19, I noticed my hair started falling more than usual, you know. So I I also saw that um, in my dad's family, everyone went bald. So like when you're young, you start like fearing those things, and like many of the people that have shared this as well, I didn't want to go bald, so I started researching for ways to not go bald, and I ran into finasteride. However, um, two things pushed me from not taking it. This was back in like 2014. One, my mom always told me never to take like um, synthetic drugs. You know, like she was like completely against synthetic drugs, which I'm grateful for that because I mean I didn't take finasteride mostly because of that, and the other reason was because I came into this article that talked about it didn't talk about all the risks of taking finasteride, but it was already saying that men were suffering from uh, uh, sexual side effects and depression, and yeah, I I was like, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna mess with that. Plus, I didn't even know where I would get a prescription for it. Yeah, so with that in mind, that same article actually suggested taking supplemental, and it was like, okay, you can try this as an alternative because it's natural, it's plant. There is research, you know, that showed that it inhibited DHT, which is the what's believed to cause hair loss. Yeah, I bought it on Amazon, and it was very easy to get at the time, and I bought a bunch of bottles, and I was gonna take like
Mm-hmm.
one or two a day, and yeah, that's what I did.
Um, what kind of information did you get about possible side effects or safety information when you bought the drug on Amazon?
Uh, no, there was I mean, there was none. Like some people said, like maybe digestive issues.
Yeah, the safety information about saw palmetto is like quite limited, even compared to finasteride, which is quite limited. And yeah, it sounds like you kind of innocently thought the drug was natural, and there wasn't any kind of possible effects, and even if there were, they would kind of go away when the drug stops, when you stop taking the supplement.
Yeah, I just thought it would be like a food, you know. I don't know. I ignorantly I thought it would be like a food, like I don't know. Yeah, like once I stopped taking it, my hair would start falling again, and then like things would go, nothing would ever happen.
Hmm. So what happened then when you started taking the supplement?
Yeah. So
When did you first notice that something wasn't right?
right. So I'm not. I have everything recorded it, you know, because I this has been an insane journey. But yeah, I started in February 15th, and then I stopped in January 20, 2017. And the the things that I noticed that started getting worse and worse were my sleep and my energy levels. And that's why I stopped taking it. Like I noticed that I started having insomnia. I never had insomnia before, and I noticed my energy levels like were depleting. And I was 20, 21, 22. Yeah, I was 21 at the time, and you know I was like, this is not normal. And this is something I should have been more self aware of, you know. But I've heard, I follow the channel and I see the testimonies of people, you know, like people don't. I didn't want to accredit it to what I was taking it, you know. I kind of wanted just to say, okay, maybe something else that's happening to me. I did because I didn't want to go bald, you know. So I was like, I wanted to keep taking the drug. But yeah, it was in 2017. I was just like, yeah, this is definitely what's causing it. And I stopped, and
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 how long had you taken it for at that stage? It was 2 years, 2015 to.
about two years, and I had only like a 2 week period where I didn't take it.
Okay. And you started to, like, when did you start to experience those negative effects when you were on the drug?
I would say like maybe 6 months in, I started experiencing the insomnia. And the energy levels like a year in, I was having that as well.
And were they the only effects that you experienced while you were on the drug, or did you experience other symptoms as well?
So I have the, yes, I do have the here. I started having palpitations. I never had that before. And I I had strange. This is obviously getting into personal things, but
Mm-hmm.
watery ejaculations.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so, 2 years goes by, you start to experience all these negative effects, and then finally you made the decision to stop taking the supplement. What happened then?
Yeah, so I noticed things got better, but in I think it was in 2018. No, I think it was in 2018 April, and I had my first panic attack. I never had a panic attack before that, and I thought I was gonna die. Yeah, it was the worst. It's one of the worst things I've ever experienced. Before that, I didn't really have signs of anxiety as such. I actually, and I say this with 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 regret and with sadness that I didn't understand mental health. You know, when I was younger, uh, you know, I thought kind of like depression and anxiety were things that were momentary. Yeah, when I experienced my panic attack, it was yeah. I was in the hospital. I went to the hospital. My mom called the ambulance because my whole body like closed up, like my hands closed up. I couldn't talk. I told my mom I was gonna die. It was yeah. I thought I was dying. I don't know. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm. And how long after you stopped taking the supplement was that?
This was a year after.
A year after. Wow. Okay. And then, so you have this panic attack, and then what happened? Like, did you start to experience new symptoms, or did you just, like, what happened next?
Yeah, after that panic attack, everything got worse. Everything got worse. I started having social anxiety, like anxiety, like just elevated to unbearable levels. I had I started having uh, what they call anenoida, and then like you know, like I couldn't feel things. I never had that before. I felt a bit of disconnection from reality. I had crazy brain fog. You know, I couldn't focus um, for a while, and like my thought process got very impaired. I guess you know, more than depression, I wouldn't say I lean into the more depression side of things. I would lean more into anxiety. but just from the exhaustion of not being able to sleep, I think that caused feeling hopeless. Uh, I also had this thing that I never experienced before, where I would be talking and like my my thoughts just left completely, and I couldn't talk. It was so scary because I never I never experienced that before. I wanted to be by myself. I didn't want it to be with friends and family just because of the way I felt. I lost control of emotions, and I yeah, that was some of the neurological ones. The physical ones, again, chronic fatigue, dizziness. I when I came to Colombia for to see if I could get better here, I went into I I lived in a city that had high elevation, and I felt like I was gonna pass out almost every day. I don't know. I don't know if it was because something happened with my capacity with breathing, but I never had that before. Because I was born in Bogota, and that was the city where I came back to, and yeah, I couldn't. If I got up fast, I needed to get sit down again because I felt like I was gonna pass out. Um, I ran out of breath. I still do to this day. I run out of breath pretty fast, and sometimes I stutter now, and I never had that before. Um, Muscle weakness. I have some pictures of myself before I had treatments. I lost a lot of muscle, and I was extremely skinny. When I was I was actually a bigger person, like a bigger guy when I was in my teenage years. I was very active, um, and the other significant ones that I haven't recovered from were my stool is still greenish, yellowish, and I've asked doctors to examine. Uh, I've paid for consults, and because stool should be brownish, but if after all that, it's I don't know. They say that that's not a big concern, but I it's not normal. I also started having pain on the right side of my back. Had an ultrasound done, and they said I had um, kidney inflammation, and then they said that could be what causes my constant urination. I still have constant urination. I have to get up multiple times to urinate. I haven't found any solution for that or alleviation. It's very annoying when you're trying to work, or when you're trying to live a normal life. Uh, when you have to be constantly, that's been a huge issue. And I have complete loss of sex drive, complete erectile dysfunction, complete loss of morning and spontaneous erections. All of those decrease in volume, force, no semen, and female numbness.
Quite a few symptoms. And you said you didn't experience any of those while you were taking the supplement either, right? Just I think you said fatigue, some insomnia, but then all of these symptoms appeared a year after you stopped taking the supplement.
I did have and there were watery ejaculation started
A
happening.
water ejaculate, sorry. Yeah, while you were on the drug, but all these symptoms appeared post drug. Um, and uh, when you when you first started experiencing this, like, did you go and see a doctor?
Yes, I did. I went to see this was in Canada. I went to see a walking clinic. I went into a walking clinic because I didn't have a family doctor at the time, and they just said I had depression and anxiety, and they gave me SSRIs, and they gave me uh, what's it called, lorazepam for the panic attacks.
Hmm. And that's the extent of it, the kind of the experience that you've had with clinicians. Have you seen any other clinicians since?
No, so yeah, after that, I didn't obviously take the SSRI because I was very afraid of taking any drugs. You can imagine that
Mm-hmm.
I I didn't take I definitely didn't take the what's it called, um the what are those called? Sorry, the lorazepam. What's the classification of it?
Yeah, benzodiazepine.
Benzos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I Yeah. So I didn't do that. I didn't take anything that they suggested. What I did was started to try to eat as best as possible, exercise, and try to be stress free. So got out of university. I was in second year, but I got out of it. Um, I had um, a consultation with a doctor online. She's uh, sleep specialist because I more than anything I just wanted to get my rest, my sleep back, because I had insane insomnia. It was making me go insane, like not being able to sleep. That got me to sleep better, but I still had insomnia. I still had um, mm, digestive issues. I still had the sexual side effects, but I was sleeping better. But again, all the other things, I still have the sexual side effects. I still had anxiety, debilitating anxiety, and I couldn't handle stress like I could before all of this.
Mm-hmm. And it's a lot of symptoms to deal with, a lot of very sudden changes to your health. What kind of impact has this had on your life?
Oh, yeah, it's been terrible. Like, well, it was terrible, in terms of um, a lot of the things that I had planned growing up. I wanted to graduate from my degree. In terms of like the pain that I had caused in my family, my mom and my dad have been angels. Like uh, they have supported me, and they have uh, wanted to see me get better, even though like they have suffered so much, and I don't know, they haven't given up on me, which is incredible because I know a lot of people don't have this support system, and I'm so grateful for that. But if it wasn't for them, yeah, honestly, I could tell you I would be homeless or dead. And
Mm.
yeah, and I think also my faith, me believing in God, and believing that um, things will get better and teach me. I even though I have suffered a lot, even though I'm not a, what do you want to call it, I'm not a functioning person like I used to be. Like I used to work, 8 hours a day, study, um, all these things. I now, after all the things that I have recovered, I volunteer. I have a bigger sense of wanting to help people, and empathize with people better more. And I think God has used that for the better. But yeah, it um I have suffered a lot. My parents have suffered a lot, and uh the only people that have supported me, like I said, are my parents and people from my church. Other than my family, do not believe I had a condition. I have a condition. They only say it's anxiety, depression. Friends say the same thing, have said the same thing, and uh, yeah, people that I prefer not to mention, other that have said the same thing. Denied that supplemental could have caused all this.
Yeah, it's really good that your parents have been so supportive because I think it's pretty jarring to hear that like if you hadn't have had your parents' support, you'd be either homeless or dead. So I think it's a very, when you have a moderate to severe case of this, it does have a very debilitating effect on not just your health but your entire life. It makes it very hard to work and support yourself, and yeah. So I'm grateful that you're able to have your parents' support at least, and it sounds like that's really gotten you through.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so just before we wrap up, one question that we ask everyone about their experience is, knowing what you know now and having experienced what you've experienced. Um, do you feel like you had enough warning, enough information about the supplement, about the drug, to provide informed consent?
No, no. If you would have told me all the things that are possible when you mess with five reductants, especially at my age, I took it when I was 19. Uh, some guys take it even younger. Yeah, I definitely was not completely informed, and yeah, I hope people really consider, if anyone's considering taking supplemental finasteride, all those drugs, really consider taking that, because consider reconsider taking it, because it can completely uh, change your life for the
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I really appreciate you having the courage to speak with us and taking the time. Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you, Mitch.
Thanks, Juan.